All right, let's get right into it. We're not here to talk about what revenge trading is. If you're watching this, you already know the kind of damage it can do. What we're going to do today is build a system, a real system, to get rid of it for good. So if you're serious about this, then this right here is your blueprint. Let's get to work.
Look, we need to get one thing straight from the very beginning. All that advice you hear about just be more disciplined, it's just plain wrong. Revenge trading is not a failure of your willpower, it's a failure of your system design. And that's exactly what we are going to architect together, right now.
So here's the absolute foundational principle you have to understand. You cannot just will your emotions to turn off. That intense gut punch feeling to make it back comes from your amygdala, the deep primal part of your brain that handles fear and survival. It's a biological reaction, not a logical choice. Trying to fight that with willpower alone, that is a war you are guaranteed to lose every single time.
And this captures the professional mindset perfectly. You see, amateurs try to fight that emotional wave head-on. Professionals, they build a seawall. It's not that they have some kind of superhuman emotional control. No way. They just operate inside a better architecture, a structure of rules and processes that contains the wave before it can do any damage.
Okay, so how do we actually build this seawall? Well, it all starts with your external framework. We're talking about a set of hard, non-negotiable rules that you lock in before your trading day even starts. This is your first line of defense against that impulse.
Rule number 1 is a fixed risk per trade. Maybe it's 1%, maybe it's 0.5%, whatever it is, you decide this before the market opens, and that number never, ever changes. You know, after a loss, our brains are literally wired to want to double down to get it back. There's a name for this. It's a cognitive bias. This static rule is the circuit breaker. It stops that impulse dead.
Rule number 2, the daily drawdown lock. You have to define your maximum daily loss. Let's say it's 2 or 3%. The second you hit that number, you're done. Trading is over. Not, oh, just one more trade. Not, I'll just cut my size down. Over. This is about preserving your capital, sure, but just as important, it preserves your mind for the next day. And the third critical rule here, the 3-loss shutdown. Take 3 consecutive losses and you stop trading for the day. Period. This one is so important because even if you haven't hit your daily loss limit, a string of losses just starts to eat away at your emotional stability. This rule is designed to protect you from yourself.
Now, on top of those hard rules, we're going to build another layer. You have to understand that after a loss, your brain is, well, it's neurologically compromised. The stress hormone cortisol is pumping through your system, and it messes with your ability to make rational decisions. So the solution isn't to try harder, it's to build in mandatory mechanical delays. We call this friction. And this brings us to the 10-minute rule. The steps are simple, but they are absolutely non-negotiable. After any loss, you stand up and you leave your desk. You completely unplug. This isn't a punishment, it's a physiological reset. This mandatory time delay, this temporal friction, it gives your body time to process those stress hormones, and that impulse to jump right back in starts to fade. Okay, so we've got the external rules in place. Now we need to turn inward. Because revenge trading, it doesn't just happen. It starts with the words you're saying to yourself. That internal monologue needs a complete, systematic reprogramming. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the ego talk, phrases like, I need to make it back, it's all personal, it's urgent, it's emotional. But on the right, you see probabilistic talk. It's calm, it's statistical, it's all about the process. Your job is to consciously, deliberately, replace the words on the left with the words on the right, because what you're thinking in your head directly impacts your actions on the keyboard.
Here is an incredibly powerful tool for you. Instead of looking at a loss as this huge, painful thing, I want you to see it as just one data point in a much, much larger sample. Just think, okay, that was trade number 17 out of my next 100. That simple shift in perspective just sucks the emotional weight out of any single outcome.
And here's another layer of that mechanical friction we were talking about. Before you even think about taking another trade after a loss, you have to go through this mandatory checklist. See, revenge trading thrives on speed and impulse, but a professional system, it requires a process. This checklist forces you to slow down, to re-engage the rational part of your brain, and to prove to yourself that you're trading your plan, not your emotions.
This all leads us to the final and honestly the most profound step in this entire system. This isn't just about changing your rules or the words you use. This is about fundamentally upgrading your entire identity.
I want you to stop thinking of yourself as a trader whose only job is to make money. That identity is too fragile. Instead, you need to adopt the identity of a risk manager. A risk manager's #1 job isn't to make profit. It's to protect capital and manage probabilities. Controlled losses are just the cost of doing business. And the amazing thing is, when you truly make this identity shift, your behavior just naturally starts to fall in line with it.
So how does a real risk manager act? Well, they adopt institutional standards. They hide their P&L during the day so they can focus on execution. They track how well they followed their process, not how much money they made. They do weekly psychological reviews to find their own weak spots. Before every single session, ask yourself this one question. If I were managing $5 million of other people's money, would I be taking this action? That question, it changes everything.
So let's end on this. Your real opponent isn't the market. It's your own uncontrolled emotion. Revenge trading is not a character flaw. It is an engineering problem, and you now have the blueprint to solve it. The only question left is, are you ready to do the work and build that seawall? If you found this blueprint valuable, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives designed to level up your performance. Now go build your system.